for everyone. World Esports Games and Leagues. WEGL 2017. StarCraft Remastered.
We are back, and it's time to go to the other half of the round of 8. We had some awesome games there from Sulky. I'm super excited to see these Zergs. They can actually handle that mech transition that just seems so strong.
Yeah. It's a very tough thing during that transition. You got to do everything perfectly, or Zerg can rip you apart. Especially when you get someone like Sulky that knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Loved that game. There were so many small nuances, and very well done.
I really appreciate how well he handled that. I think he could beat Flash. I'm just going to say this right now. I think he is somebody who actually seems to just continuously be getting better and better at Brood War.
Yeah, very much so.
Anyways, our other Protoss player here at Sky, a lot of people saying his condition's not good. Him saying, in fact, his condition's just fine. We'll see if that's going to be the case.
He's one of the Protosses right now. He's a newer guy, right? He's just kind of finding his stride as a top-level player. Hasn't had the real results offline. Of course, that takes years a lot of the time. But he's someone that if you watch a lot of the top pros, either laddering, on their stream or whatever, or playing customs for an upcoming ASL match.
Right, yeah.
They will be against him a lot of the time. They're practicing for like Bisu and Rain and stuff. Sky's name pops up over and over, so does Minis. So these guys are super legit. They got through the qualifiers to get here. Very excited to see him play here today up against C. Long time, one of the best Terrans around. Not really a championship player, but a very solid player.
He's one of the most seasoned players we have.
Yeah.
Sky has been around since the very, very early days. He was the guy we'd occasionally get beers with when we got out to Korea.
One of the most friendly pros I've ever met.
Yeah, super charismatic guy. And we'll see how he does here. He's never the guy we say is going to win. No disrespect to him.
No,
he's the guy who...
he gets reasonably far, and he beats really good players doing it, but then a champion will kill him, basically.
Yeah.
Well, he did make the finals, his first finals ever in ASL Season 2, and he took a game off Flash, and that's pretty impressive, right? So that's good. Now, his TVP is really quite nice. He has a good mixture in his play. Him against Sky. Who do you think actually takes this?
I think C should. I think easily, actually.
Easily, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking C maybe 2-1. Like, I think Sky is
really
a really good player.
I think Sky's good. I think C is just way more experienced.
Oh, well, that's for sure, man.
I think he's always comfortable doing this anytime, he plays.
He can play on stage without any issues whatsoever.
Here's what else I'll say. Let me jump in here for a second and just point this out, too. If you were a StarCraft 1 pro, where were you playing, Artosis? What's the name of the city where all that happens?
Seoul?
That's right. This is about as far out as you get. You got to get on a train, come all the way out here. This event's like, in some ways, a lot more of a big deal. You probably do not feel like you're in your comfort zone. You're not in the same normal studio.
Okay.
It has a different vibe to it.
And really,
some people might dismiss what I'm saying and say, it doesn't matter. Look, until you're in that booth and playing, you can be out of your comfort zone for sure.
Yeah.
This is an event that's a marathon. It's 2 days. It's not 2 months like every other tournament we do.
Yeah.
Where you got all this time to build up. No, we grab them all, bring them together, make them play, and by day 2 we got a champion.
Well, C has played all over the place.
Yeah.
Sky, on the other hand, not really. I mean, he's still up and coming. He hasn't been in a ton of tournaments on stage.
Very
By
true.
the way, I can't believe we have gone this long and not made a pun about their IDs. They fit so well together. C and Sky.
You're right.
All we need is land at this point, man, and we are done.
C versus Sky.
Yeah. Which truly wins?
I think there is a high chance that Sky does something like proxy and tech. We'll see, though. I don't know. C is kind of funny. It's like Last and Flash play so similarly, but then C is sort of off with his own brand of Terran.
Yeah. It's like Last has modeled himself in a lot of ways after Flash, whereas C was around, similar time frame to Flash. Like he didn't have Flash to model. He is a macro. He's a very good macro Terran.
Yeah.
But
Very good with his aggression
play, I want
early.
to say. Looser play.
Much looser play.
It's not sharp-ass timings that Flash uses, where Flash is like, I kill you now with max 2-1.
I
the
think
quickest max 2-1 that there is.
C is a lot more finesse as he pushes out. He's a very tough player, but it's there's risk involved in what he does.
Yeah. By the way, I love Sky's ID because his actual name, Hanyo, is the word sky.
There you go. Keeping it consistent.
Cool. Like in Yumbo, song means sea. All right. Here we go. Excited to see what map this is going to be on. I think Sky can take a game, man. Look at him. Doesn't look too confident, to be honest.
Well, this is scary. I mean, C is so experienced. C was not in the last ASL. He's eager to prove himself here at the WEGL. This might be his moment.
All right. Getting those headsets on. We should be starting this just momentarily, guys. Spread the word. WEGL. We're having so much great StarCraft 1 action today, and it's happening so quickly. Like back to back to back to back to back. This is something that we never do in StarCraft 1. So this is like actually one of the best days of StarCraft 1 that you will ever have in your life. And I am not joking.
So we're still waiting for this game to start. Again, it is a best of 3. This is the second half of the round of 8. I am going to be super shocked if Sky is actually going to win. That would be crazy. But I'm open to it, man. We need some new Protoss blood, Artosis. Well, you Terran players, man, you got last. That's exciting. I want my new young Protoss protege.
Well, I think you're going to have to go with Rain for now, but I don't know if we can.
Yeah, he's the best we can get for now.
Yeah, he's doing
nothing wrong with Rain, too. He's a great player.
Oh, certainly. I think he's literally the next in line to take Visu's spot as Visu goes to the military relatively soon.
I think so.
But Sky is one of those guys that hopefully can come up. I heard Zhongbi should be out of the military this upcoming year. And you want to get a Protoss in there that can beat Flash, man. It's Zhongbi for sure.
Zhongbi's good.
Dude, his PVT is some of the scariest stuff I've ever seen.
The final OSL we casted, was that?
No, the final one that happened was Zhongbi
versus
Fantasy,
right?
We didn't cast that, though.
No, that was the one time we went to a StarCraft event we weren't casting.
Yeah.
We were watching.
That was cool. They gave us really good seats.
Yeah.
That was actually very thoughtful of them. They were like, this is the final OSL. We should invite...
We didn't know if StarCraft 1 was ever going to be back.
Yeah, I had tears in my eyes.
But guess what? It is!
That's right.
All right, this is game 1. Sky vs. C, let's do this. Who will win the Golden Circle? All right, both players sharing the top of the map. Protoss in the upper left, Terran in the upper right.
Fighting map it is. Okay. Looks like both players playing 4x3. Just a little side note. I like to point that out sometimes just to, it's always very interesting to see who wants to play widescreen, who wants to play
It's interesting.
4x3, yeah.
Yeah. Some of these guys do not switch over to the better graphics. What are you playing in? You're playing in...
I play widescreen because I'm streaming a whole lot. If I was not streaming at all, I would actually probably play 4:3, to be honest.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I have a hard time going back, to be honest, after seeing them.
Oh, I know. The graphics are super
It's just
beautiful.
like, I'm amazed my eyes were okay looking at graphics like that for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I remember when I was a kid, you know, like, obviously graphics just get better and better as we get older, right?
Yeah.
But remember this game, Soul Calibur?
Oh, yeah.
I remember when Soul Calibur 2 came out. This is like so long ago. This is like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I looked at the graphics and I'm like, okay, we can never get better than this. I was like, this is it.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
If you go back and look at that game now, it's like, what?
I remember when we got an N64 in my house.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
Ocarina of Time.
no way.
Yeah.
How is this real? This is crazy.
Yeah, no, when I played GoldenEye when I was a kid, I was like, we made it, boys. We're finally here.
To be honest, I don't need as good a graphics as we're getting nowadays. I have one of these VR systems, and I just don't even play it. I'm like, no.
That's the future in StarCraft 3, Artosis. We have these VR headsets. We've got the wands in our hands. We're flying through the game.
Dude.
I'm flying around like Peter Pan, casting to all my little nerds at home.
It's quite a vision.
They're all my little lost boys.
Yeah.
I'm teaching them that you can believe. If you just believe you can fly, you can. It's not a great life lesson.
No, certainly not.
It's not
like
true
we were
at
talking
all.
about hard work will make you good at StarCraft.
It's true. Yeah.
That's the future, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think that humanity nailed it with 16-bit, but whatever. I guess we'll keep getting better and better. Eventually fool your brain completely. Now, a Nexus first out of Sky, and this is cool because we saw Nexus first both games out of Mini, and I'm not surprised because as you were talking about before, how you're like, I don't know if we have everything figured out with Nexus first and the right ways to counter it.
Yeah.
I agree with this so much. Like, Nayoka and I just had convos about this recently about, like, what is the actual counter? And, like, there's so many little things involved with playing against Nexus first. Like, for instance, okay, he's scouting now. Let's see what direction he goes in. Oh, wait, no, that's a Marine. Okay, so he just straight doesn't know, right? Like,
Yeah, Terran's playing blind. You really never want to play like this unless you are really, really, really good. For those of you guys who are trying to pick up StarCraft 1, I mean, it's probably always better to scout. Nexus first is common, but I don't think it's necessarily the first thing that Terrans think that Protoss is going to do.
Yeah, look at this. So he's actually scouting in the wrong direction. Or is he? Actually, the SCV kind of going cross map, which is fine. But he's going to scout this so late that he cannot change his build really very much. Like, this is what I was talking about before. Is he building non-stop Marines right now? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, I don't
so
think
if you
this is
scout
the-
Protoss late, you can't really offensive bunker them as easily.
No. Thing is, against Nexus first, you don't have to immediately answer the Nexus with aggression. I think that's the gut instinct of most players. But I think you can just expand and try to match them. Because, yeah, in this case, I don't think C has an easy answer.
I think
at
we do
all.
like a mind contain. But this actually, what we're seeing, this is, I actually didn't pay attention to his exact initial build where we were talking about whatever the hell we were talking about, probably Ninja Turtles. But this could be like a 10-10-10 or something. Let's see what his move out time is when he comes across. But like, he made quite a few Marines, and he's actually sending SCVs, so he's serious about showing this off. Okay, so 1 Siege Tank, 5 Marines, I believe that is.
What is that, like about 9 SCVs, something like that?
That's quite a few SCVs, 8 or 9 maybe, yeah.
So we're still waiting to see if this is going to actually work. He has to come in there and do damage right away. This is so many workers pulled. Protoss may want to actually sack the Nexus.
I think he's going to pull probes because he has 2 Zealots.
Yeah, 2 Zealots is a big difference. You're right.
that tanks a lot of damage here. So the probes will actually get some damage down. He has these 2. Oh my God, that blocking on the Dragoon, they just can't do anything here. Oh my God. Crazy.
Now the fact that he pulled probes and Terran is winning this fight is bad news.
Oh yeah, and if he gets this up, look at this, he's got his mines now. So this is really good for
If he gets
C.
to, where the workers are up there, it's,
God.
oh my God. You know where the Dragoons are going to spawn, by the way, from there. Yeah.
So easy.
Okay, the other Dragoon spawns here. He just needs to kill that 1 Dragoon. There's not quite enough workers here for this round. Oh no, maybe there is, hold on. Oh my God, this is probably GG. Yeah. Brilliant play here by C.
Really well done.
I didn't think it was going to be this straightforward, but yeah, it absolutely was.
He was making Marines, right? And that's important. If he had been planning on making a CC, you can't necessarily do this, but
yeah,
well done, and GG is called.
GG.
Hey.
Short and sweet.
Sick.
Okay, that's going to be a big morale blow to Sky. Sky is not going to be too happy.
I would venture to say no, he will not be.
Well, I mean, it's actually a totally honest way to lose. That is a good rush by C, but you know, when you're in a big tournament match like this, it's just 1 best of 3. You don't want to go down like that.
Yeah, there was one issue as well, and this is something that can be extremely hard to set up.
Yeah.
If you lose your scout probe, you literally cannot set it up. But when he engaged with the 2 Zealots, 2 Dragoons, and his probes, he didn't have vision of any geysers or minerals, or he could have probe walked through the Marines, and he might hold it at that point. But when the probes are getting only 1 surface area and clumping on each other, that's as bad of an engagement as you can possibly get.
Very true. Okay, let's go into game 2. and see what's going to happen here again with that Nexus first play. Look, I'm not Bisu here, but I always feel a little bit uncomfortable with Nexus first when I see it. I know why it's good, but it just seems like there's some danger with it.
WEGL
Can die. If you're not making
2017.
units, you definitely can die.
Fight.
Also, the number of probes you have to cut to do that opener specifically, it's crazy.
So you get
Paul
it back
gets
from
in there,
2
gets
Nexuses.
Yeah, but the problem is, before that Nexus activates, if they get a Vulture in there and kill just like 1 or 2 probes, you are so slow in production, it's crazy.
We'll see if he goes for it again. Not sure what the map is, but we are getting into it. C leading 1-0 for Sky. Storm tasteless.
This is where you make the gateways in the main. Little tasteless on your shoulder, whispered into your ear,
Yeah.
telling you to do the evil build.
And then you got Artosis on the other shoulder, telling you to macro,
Play a macro game.
and to probably not choose Protoss.
Yeah. Be a virtuous nerd and play Terran.
That's right.
Okay, so we have Sky in the upper right, C in the bottom left. It's a one-on-one map. There's always a higher chance of somebody doing some kind of all-in on a one-on-one map, since you automatically know where your opponent's starting location is.
Yeah. By the way, huge crowd here. It's wild. So many
Yeah.
people watching right now. It
Big
reminds
turnout.
me of Tekken from yesterday.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun casting CSGO and Tekken. If you guys didn't see it, check out the VODs. Will you learn anything? No. Will you have fun? We hope so.
Yeah. If you don't, maybe you need to stop taking things so seriously and just relax.
Stop writing angry stuff on Reddit and on forums and just be like, hey, just playing games, having a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go. It's important.
When you're writing all that angry stuff on the internet, maybe you gotta ask yourself, am I truly happy? Because the answer is probably no.
Yeah. I think
Probably
everyone
a
needs to
very-
ask themselves that
Very
one.
unhappy
Tasteless.
person.
Am I truly happy? It's a very deep question. It can be hard to answer.
One day you might have kids. You want to ask yourself this question long in advance. Do I want my kid to grow up and be that person that writes comments on YouTube?
Ooh,
No.
that's
The
a good
answer is
one
no,
there.
you don't.
Yeah. If I ever find any of my kids writing YouTube comments, man,
Yeah.
I would know I've
That's-
failed at that point.
Sometimes I look at like YouTube comments or some comments on Reddit and I'm like, a human that has a brain decided to click on this button and start to write this down
Some of these negative, crazy
and
comments.
log this onto the internet forever.
Yeah.
All right. Some people become architects.
Some people
Others
become
don't.
architects of their own demise.
True, true. Let's see if we have an actual proper PBT mid-game here. Late game as well.
Well, the opening here, not a Nexus first, so that's kind of refreshing.
Now, the pylon placement here for the Protoss alleviates all Protoss players' problems with obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
See where that core is? It just fits so nicely.
Oh, yeah.
The pylon, you look at it, you're like, that can't reach that far. Oh, it can.
StarCraft 1 pylons are madness.
Crazy. There's a second pylon, very well thought out. We want to see what's inside the main. And, yeah. Over here in Terran Town, you know what? I like the placement, too. That depot makes those SCVs mine a little bit more quickly. That barracks hugging the command center. Marines are safe if they need to be. Factory just up there.
Absolutely. Good sim cities on both sides. And we'll see what they want to end up going for here. Is that a Marine going through the center right now? C is kind of funny. Not scouting with SCVs too much.
Well, you know,
Scouts with this initial Marine.
if
C's
you guys
a lot.
are wondering why C isn't scouting with his SCV, it's certainly not because he's lazy. It's because in StarCraft 1, if you start out with one worker, or 4 workers, like we all do, having one extra worker mining makes such a difference, it's insane.
It is crazy. Every little movement of workers, that's like when you get really high level players, when you're balancing your workers super specifically. Oh!
He's so good.
That one
He's
Marine
so
move at the
good.
bottom was crazy. That was like a trillisecond before that Zealot connected with it.
So well
Crazy.
controlled.
Ooh.
You ever actually looked at where the units are damaged in Brood War? Like where they turn red in their little portrait?
Isn't it random?
I don't know.
I'm fairly sure
I've never
it's random.
actually paid enough attention. But I want you to know that Zealot's head and left arm and left leg are hurt.
Ooh.
That's rough. Whole left side of the body
Yeah.
not doing well.
Poor guy.
Yeah, it's too bad.
All right, looks like an expansion coming out. Probably going to have a siege tank and Widow or Spider Mines coming up here very shortly. All right, Dragoon coming into poke. Has that Zealot as well, but enough Marines that you got to be very careful about
Yeah,
this.
you know, that Zealot's so bruised, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, and especially since he already walked in the Dragoon and took that volley, like every hit point actually makes quite a difference. Because if Terran just smashes your first couple of units, man, it's just pure safety for Terran from there. If you want to do anything aggressive, you cannot be wasteful early.
So we want to keep an eye here for a possible mid-game push. Terran have, on this map, one of the strongest mid-game push options because they can actually hit the natural with siege tanks, and Protoss can't really retaliate effectively. Terran doesn't have to do it, but it's definitely just something we want to keep in the back of our head.
Yeah.
Watch for.
And it becomes like kind of a... It can be risky to attack that gully push that we saw from Flash, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was a bizarre game that got us to that situation. But in a more regular game, if you're trying to push there, don't forget that is at the bottom of 2 high grounds and against a wall. So there's no room for the Terran to micro. And as you rush down into it, A, Terran may not have vision, and B, they'll miss shots going up to the high ground. So there are definitely ways to break it. It is not just a strategy that wins, or, well, no one would ever play Blue Storm. But it is definitely a strategy that, used in the right situations, is very powerful.
It's also important to note that in the late game on this map, Protoss has to try to dominate the Terran and prevent them from getting these bases, in this case, these bases at the top left, or they will lose.
Yeah, and
Carriers, by the way, are also a very viable option.
Oh, yeah, they're good here.
In that regard.
Yeah. And you know what? We've talked a lot about Fighting Spirit, how it's the basic map, it's a macro map. And this kind of shows you, like, the very big difference, right? We're having to mention all these tiny different things that can occur where it's like, well, this doesn't have to happen like this, and it doesn't make the map imbalanced, but this is something you have to keep in mind. And this is why, like, for instance, Blue Storm, for a more casual scene, might not be a map you play as often, because you're going to lose games. You're like, well, how the hell do I stop that? It's like, it's a very specific, like, you have to know Blue Storm to play it.
Yeah.
Whereas Fighting Spirit is like, well, this is as basic as you can get and retain some amount of balance.
You can learn Fighting Spirit and feel like you got the matchup down, and the moment you're on a map like this, it's like everything that you know you might have to throw out. The rate of expanding, the way that tech can be abused. Fighting Spirit is basically your bread and butter StarCraft 1 map. It's actually a great map to learn on.
Oh, absolutely.
But when you get on to, I would actually dare to call this a more advanced map. It requires a different style of play.
Yeah. I mean, you still need to be able to do everything you do on Fighting Spirit, but there's other things involved as well. A lot to keep in your head. By the way, looking at the way that they are playing right now, third base, mineral only there for Sky, so he's just going to macro up very heavily. With those Goliaths, that means that we will not see any early pushes from C.
Right.
This is more of a macro play, so we'll see him take his third relatively soon. Might build a Nexus on low ground to be careful, because the third is right below a high ground, so you don't want to just build it there most of the time as Terran. You normally want to float. But yeah, it looks like this game should go quite a bit longer. You know, he actually just starts there. What do I know, man? These Korean Terrans, so green.
So bold.
Yeah.
Taking the CC right there, but okay.
Yeah, but he sieges up, so he's going to be all right. And he has some Marines and some Goliaths there, which means you can't drop on top of this. So that blocks shuttles, and you just would not have Zealot speed by now. So he's safe for the moment.
So, we're going to have to wait. Terran will have a pretty robust push coming up here. Protoss is, it has to be Carrier because he doesn't have gas. So.
Yeah. And 2 Stargates always screams Carrier as well.
Right, yeah. You would never be getting just 2 Stargates.
Yeah.
Well, you could, I guess, if you're going to go Arbiter, but generally no.
You'd start on one and then add a second, I think.
Probably
unless
add
it's
it
like
when
late.
when the Arbiter Tribunal is being made.
Yeah. Tribunal, by the way.
Tribunal?
Yes.
Sorry, everybody.
No, it's okay.
I never played this
Tribunal,
game before.
that sounds like a certain medicine.
Yeah, I can't
Tribunal.
drink. I can't drink right now. I'm on
Sleep
Tribunal.
well with Tribunal.
Side effects may cause death, diarrhea,
Always diarrhea.
headaches. Contact your doctor if you're thinking about suicide. Well, try Tribunal. So there it is, the fleet beacon.
Yeah.
Carrier play may actually end up forcing Terran to expand to the bottom center. This is one of the odd properties on this map. You know, there are some maps where you'd be foolish to not go carriers. This isn't exactly that map. You know, Fighting Spirit, I've always felt a little bit iffy about going carriers on it. Not that, I mean, you can go carriers on almost any map, but I think Fighting Spirit doesn't lend itself.
Yeah.
Whereas this map, there's a lot you can do to abuse a Terran on carriers.
Absolutely.
But Terran can also turtle up and just have a bunch of Goliaths and just do a power push later on.
I think the nice thing about carriers here, not just the terrain, but your fourth base is your third gas. So you're a little bit behind on gas. Sometimes that makes it a little bit harder to have those 2-1 upgrades that you really need to fight, to have as many Goliaths as well. It's a good build here from Sky. We'll see if C can kind of deflect these carriers incoming. Look at these pylon setups, by the way, really, really good. Both those pylon setups are just to block vultures. There's only one way vultures can get into that back right base now, and it's through a little tiny ramp on the high ground that C will not run through, most likely.
It's actually kind of funny. Protoss has figured out the pylon walls kind of late in the overall history of Brood War.
Yeah.
But when Protoss started doing it, you realized you could just deny anybody trying to come in there with vultures. It was huge. So we have the Citadel coming down super late because there was a big rush to get those carriers out. He is getting air attack +1 as well for those interceptors.
By the way, I think he may have just figured out that it's carriers.
I think so.
I just heard a scan, and I was about to mention after you were done talking that I haven't heard many scans for how early his scanner was. Maybe I just misheard, but like, that's pretty late, and there's no Zealot speed yet. So like, C has some room to maneuver right now.
This is a super advanced thing, but definitely something that worth mentioning is that if you want to hide carrier tech, make sure your Zealots are in hold position. Because if they see Zealot speed or lack thereof, they have a better idea of where the game's going.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, with those mines in the way. Yeah, this is so rough right now. Oh my God.
So
lots of free kills. This is a huge move by C. So well timed.
Not a bad escape though by Sky.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I thought he was gonna lose all those Dragoons.
Now he just, Sky needs to hold on for a couple more carriers. He has 2 out. 2 is a very low number. 2 is not scary.
2 is not enough to do anything. 4 is the magic number for carriers.
And then obviously above that, it gets scarier and scarier.
On an exponential level.
Yeah. Oh yeah, another little trick for people. As Terran, just keep scanning where the cybernetics core is. You don't need to find the carriers. If that's ever spinning, they're making carriers.
Great little note, Artosis.
To the point where G5 figured out I did that in tournaments way back, so he would not use his original cybernetics core. He would always hide it somewhere.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So,
because they have to get +1. It's just, it gives +8 attack.
There's no reason to not have it. Yeah, it's so much more damage.
Yeah. Oh, look at this cute move.
Oh yeah, you know what? This actually works.
Oh my God.
He doesn't have enough carriers yet to stop this.
Anything he kills here is great. Look at that Forge, man. Like, stop an upgrade. Oh yeah. Cash money.
He's going up now.
Oh, that's sick. Oh, that Forge being there.
Dude,
right now, Sky
so
is kicking himself. Like, that Forge doesn't need to be there.
No.
No reason for that Forge to be right there. Aw, he's in trouble, man.
Yeah, this actually may be what cost him the game here. There's enough turrets out that the interceptors are going to be shot down.
Oh, jeez. And with the Goliaths, too, like already having these up here.
Okay, this actually maybe this may be the beginning of the end here. He spent all his money on the carrier tech. He's never going to get enough carriers now.
By the way, in my opinion, the best place to hide carrier tech is right near the mineral base behind it.
Yeah.
Because that's an area you don't use as Protoss, and you just never get. If you lose that area, you've already lost the game.
Exactly. Well, Protoss is going to go for the break here. Let's see if he can actually penetrate through.
That's a lot of Zealots. The Vulture's coming up from behind now. Oh, they're clumping up so badly here. No spread until the last second. The turret's screwing them up as well.
We may see Protoss tap out GG here. This is basically it.
That was a really poor engagement.
Yeah.
Super poor. Like, he could have done way more than that if he just spread the Zealots.
Yeah. There's no way to stop the push now. He lost all the important units. Carrier's not in high enough numbers. No tech to allow him to escape. There's no arbiters available here. No Psionic Storm.
Yeah.
Nothing. This ultimately comes down to that position with those tanks hitting that forge. For Protoss realizes, oh my god, I'm never going to last late game.
Yeah,
Let me try to
tough.
attack. C more than ready. C is going to move on.
Losing Stargates, have carriers building and stuff too.
Yeah.
It's just, look at this. C
Not
taking
good.
absolutely everything, showing his experience here. This is a map C has played countless times on. Because he's switching back, or okay, he actually, that's interesting. He canceled a carrier that was making, so I thought he was switching back into just Crown Tech. But
Yeah.
he still has some economy, still has some bank, so he's trying his best to pull something together. The thing is, it's pretty funny. Things like this, like Zealots running into Goliaths that are alone, sometimes Terran gets a little bit lazy about this because they get far ahead, and then suddenly you lose all your Goliaths to like 12 Zealots and 4 carriers. Because Goliaths just do not fight well against ground units.
Okay, this is basically a simple cleanup here for
Yeah.
Terran. Terran now moves down, smashes that. This is all, I guess you can call this like a very low-risk push here from Terran. We'll see if Sky can actually do anything. The problem is that you need a certain number of carriers before they can do anything.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, the difference between 4 carriers and 6 or 8 or 10
Oh yeah.
is so crazy. But with the Goliaths, what happens, if you have a high enough number of Goliaths, they kill all the interceptors. Protoss is spending money trying to have an opportunity to have a good fight.
Yeah.
A lot of games, they go super late TVP. The Protoss loses the game because he had to make interceptors the whole time. You run out of money.
You win a lot of games as Terran that go
Yeah.
to Supreme late game by just killing infinity interceptors over
Yeah,
the course
you'll
of the
feel
game.
like you're losing the whole time, but actually Protoss is just making interceptors constantly. And
There are like 25 minerals in this game.
yeah,
These aren't StarCraft 2 interceptors, guys.
so we see Sky trying to come down here. Never enough of anything.
Okay, he's actually going to clear this now.
Are there no more Goliaths?
There's Goliaths coming
think-
from the left,
Yeah,
so
I
if he
think
can
up
get
here-
some. Thing is, this is pure Goliaths, so if he rallies a huge amount of Zealots out, maybe, like
I'm not sure.
clear
dude.
these tanks with the carriers, right? And then does he have some gateway? They're coming quick. They're coming quick. He needs to move his units down. He needs to move the carriers to the right, and he needs to rally up more units to deal with these Goliaths.
Is the next
Like he's
live?
gonna lose this game, but like
He
it's
took out
funny
the
what you
Nexus.
can get done.
Oh yeah. Well, it's why carriers are good to begin with.
Yeah.
Is you can have these really favorable exchanges depending on the angle that you're at. However, that being all said, Protoss is on 2 base. Terran has 1/2 of the map.
Yeah. Like this is really bad for Protoss, but he needs to bring all of his units together at once here. The Dragoons were very late coming up, a full flank here, and he actually erases this army as well. It looks like this army will maybe just clean him up,
Yeah, should be.
but like if those Dragoons came up at the right time, the siege tanks don't clear him immediately, and he has a much better time.
There it is, GG. We just have one more best of 3 left here in the round of 8.
Yeah. So far, the next round is Flash versus Sulky, and now C versus the winner of Mong